Hello, how you're doing? Welcome back to Our Lions Walk, episode 25 of this series, and I cannot believe we are here again discussing the dreaded R word. Relegation worries are flittering around the club due to the recent form. We're discussing that with Callum and Charlie and looking back at social media takes from the most recent game, which of course was this weekend against Hull. We're recording this before the midweek games. We're also saying thank you to remain essay as he leaves to Crystal Palace and looking back at his time at Millwall. AI is predicting our away fixtures that are left of them. Will it be enough to keep us away from that dreaded bottom three? And we're starting a new feature and looking at the world's worst Millwall 11 of the Championship era. And today we're asking Charlie and Callum to predict and come up with the worst ever strikers they've seen in a Millwall short. Help them out by dropping comments below who's the worst ever that you've seen. But we're going to get serious before we get silly. Charlie and Callum are back with us. Since we last spoke to you, which was a couple of weeks ago before that Dagenham, it all just seems to have gone to turds, Charlie. What's going on?
Well, I think, again, it was sort of what I talked about last time. There's a lot of unsettledness at the club at the moment. I think after the Dagenham game, it was sort of, we just saw the difference in quality between our Championship players and National League side. Especially in that second half, we were just a much fitter team and you could see our quality was there. But that quality has definitely not come through when we've played Hull this weekend. This weekend was probably one of the worst Millwall performances I've seen in the last couple of seasons. There wasn't really much to talk about. I think we had one shot on target the whole game. So at home, that just isn't good enough, really.
There were lots of tweets we could have put up here. Thanks for that, Charlie. Shows this one from Al, who says, we need to get attacking reinforcements or we're going on a League One tour. It's as simple as that. Every other team gets a new manager bounce, not us. Callum, it only feels like a couple of months ago, me and you were sat here talking about Millwall heading to the playoffs and everything looking rosy, and you beat Leeds in 1 week, then you went on to beat Burnley or the other way around, and we were just going, wow, how good are Millwall? And here we are, staring at another relegation dogfight. Can you scarcely believe it?
No, not really. I think it's, I think Charlie was right in what he just said. I think we cruised through that Dagenham Redbridge Cup game. Obviously, you can see the difference in level, and we scored 3 goals for the first time in a while, which was nice to see. And then you would have thought after that game, we would have gone into the whole game thinking, oh, we're going to score a few goals at home, keep the home run good and keep going. And then you come to Saturday and, as Charlie said, it's probably one of the worst performances for a couple of seasons, to be honest. I think up front, that's what you just put up there. We definitely need attacking reinforcements quickly, as soon as possible. I think, Eze's been, obviously gone to Palace and that's been in the mix for about 2 weeks now. So I'm surprised that the board haven't really got a replacement in yet. But saying that, we've still got, as we're recording this, 2 weeks until the window's shut. So hopefully the ball can get in a few wingers. Definitely need the number 10, in my opinion, attacking midfielder. We just look really poor up front. I mean, this season we've barely scored more than 1 goal a game, which is in the Championship. If you don't score a goal, you don't win games. So, yeah, it's been really, really poor the last couple of weeks. So I can't really put my finger on it other than we haven't got the players to score goals. Simple as that, really.
Cheers for that, Callum. Is it? I've got to ask the question. I'm sorry to do this to you both, but people are putting it out there. Is it a player thing? Because these are pretty much the same players that Neil Harris had, and they seem to be getting a tune out of them better than Alex Neil is. Is there a very early issue with what he's trying to do, the style he's trying to ask them to play, Charlie?
Well, I think you just have, if you look at it as plain as that, the players, there seems to not be that sort of fight, especially on Saturday. There wasn't a fight there. It wasn't like the players wanted to get that result. They didn't feel like that. It felt like nobody was really up for it, and it was really weird sort of atmosphere. I don't know how much longer we can go on sort of saying about the players, because it's got to that point now where new managers come in. Okay, you need a bit of time to adjust, but now we're seeing there isn't much change there. It's still the same players, and then players still ain't performing. So it's not like the new manager bounce has helped them players. Them players are just not good enough to put new ideas out there, or they're not good enough to just get results, really, which is really worrying.
I mean, we saw this before, didn't we? With fans saying, players aren't good enough. But it was mainly about Honeyman and Bradshaw. Now Bradshaw's gone to Oxford, and I've duly warned them about what they've done there on your behalf. But I mean, this tweet from Matt says it was terrible. Ban the 5 at the back. Never works here, and it's cost us again. Honeyman and Watmore should never ever be in a Millwall kit again. Terrible week in, week out. Saville and Bryan need dropping. Go and buy a proper 10, as you've said. And someone goes, if not, we go down. Mark says, the most spineless performance we've produced in years. I mean, Honeyman gets it every single week on here, Callum. And Watmore, I mean, don't forget, he was a top striker, wasn't he, at the start of top goal scorer at the start of the season, couldn't stop scoring. And yet every week I see people saying he shouldn't be in a kit. Is what Matt's saying there too harsh, or is he spot on?
Yeah, I think he's spot on. I think I don't really. Do you know what? It's one of them where you can't. I think I said this a couple of weeks ago. I think with players' contracts being run out in the summer, I think that's got a part to play in it. Now, I think as Charlie said, there was no fight on Saturday, and you when you see that in a team, it's almost like, wow, this is worrying. So, I mean, look at the games we've got coming up. I mean, we're playing, I think, Cardiff tomorrow on Tuesday. Then we've got Portsmouth, and I'm missing somebody out, aren't I, as well? Have we got someone else? I can't remember who else we've got.
We've got Luton first. Yeah.
Luton as well. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we've got Luton away. So they're games that, we need to be winning. I mean, because them teams are down the bottom. So, if we lose tomorrow against Cardiff and then losing a Luton on Saturday, then we're looking to be right in the relegation battle. So I think the players need to really think really long and hard now. And, we can't really put this down to Alex Neil. I think he's not really I think he's had time, but it's going to take even more time. I think it's just got to the point now where we need to try and stay up, whatever it takes to stay in this league. And hopefully Alex Neil can rebuild in the summer, because I think we need a massive rebuild in this squad.
To be fair to him, I think 20 minutes to go, he did realise the 5 at the back wasn't working, Charlie, didn't he? He did switch it. And do you agree that you looked a bit more aggressive after that change? And do you think that's the last time you'll see 5 at the back? It just doesn't work for Millwall, does it?
Well, I'm not too sure, to be honest, because if we look at the so since Essay gone, I don't know if we're going to cover it, but we have brought in a new centre back already. So I don't know, maybe if that's to go straight in and start off with 3 centre backs, or if it's a replacement for either looking at Cooper's getting on a bit now, or if Tanganga's going in the summer, it's sort of someone to integrate into the squad. But I don't know. I know Alex Neil has played the 3 at the back before, so but I mean, I know Millwall fans really don't like it, but it is getting to the point of the season where we have to stop shipping goals. Otherwise, we are going to go down. So if that does mean putting 5 at the back and trying to just save points, then I think we're going to have to deal with it. But yeah, at the moment, I don't think anything's working really. 4 at the back, 5 at the back. I think we just need to find out what players are better for us and go from there, really.
Okay. Let's talk about some signings that you've come in before we talk about Romain Esse then. So the Brentford defender then, Kramer, Callum, there's been signed. Undisclosed fee, this one. Was you happy with this one?
Yeah, I am. I think he's a brilliant defender. I watched him a few times when he was at Lincoln for the first half of the season. Very good player. Ball playing defender, can play the ball, quite agile, can pass out from the back. He scored 4 goals this season for Lincoln. I think he's got, he's played every single game for them. Really tall, 6'4", right-footed, can play CDM in a back 4, back 5. So yeah, it's a really good signing. I've seen obviously the Lincoln fans on Twitter saying that they're really upset that him leaving. So that's obviously a good sign for us. And like Charlie said earlier, I think, you're looking at Tanganga. I think he's just too good for us. I think he'll be gone in the summer. So I think he'll probably be a replacement for him. Coop's obviously getting on as well. But no, brilliant signing. Good age as well, 23. So I think that's the sort of players that the board are trying to get in now. I think they've done well at League One level. They're coming into the Championship to obviously a tougher league. But I think he's a brilliant signing for us.
Okay. I think it was Exeter who was at Lincoln.
Oh, sorry, Exeter. Sorry, apologies.
Same colours, but
yeah, sorry, apologies.
That's okay.
That's it.
Aaron Connolly, then Charlie. Now there's some eyebrows raised at this particular signing from some Millwall fans, saying it's a bit of desperation. But how do you see this one?
Well, I think it's a bit. Looking at the character, the profile of the player, it is a bit of a weird one, especially as we know what Millwall don't need right now, and it's another sort of 5-foot striker who we're going to launch the ball up to. So I didn't really get it in that sense. But then when you look at it, we have got him on a free, which is a bonus. And obviously, with Tom Bradshaw off, we do need someone just to be that squad player sort of role. So I think it could be seen as an upgrade on Bradshaw. He's like much younger. He has scored goals where he's been able to play. Like I remember when he broke through at Brighton, he was a very promising player. I think he scored about 8 or 10 goals at Hull not too many seasons ago. So we know he can there is a player there. But I've seen that a lot of clubs talked about having attitude issues and stuff like that. So it would be interesting to see if we can get a player out of him and if he will work, because I think that's the main thing there.
Yeah, absolutely. The Sunderland fans and the Hull fans that we've spoken to in the past have said, decent player, but can disrupt the dressing room. I mean, hopefully that's not going to happen. That's going to happen here. The one exit we must talk about, of course. We knew it was coming. We've spoken about it before, but it's finally happened. Romain Esse left the club to join Crystal Palace. He tweeted, "Thank you for everything," with a cracking picture of him there from 13-14. Harrison says he's going right to the top, and Jay says, "Good luck, Rom. Hopefully you will go on to be an absolute superstar." Callum, do you think is going to be at the top, and we're going to be hearing his name for many years to come at the very top level of the Premier League?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's destined for the top. Obviously, it pains me to say that, obviously Palace, he's gone to Palace, which is a local rival of ours. But you've seen what they've done with Elise. I mean, Elise is now at Bayern playing Champions League football. So I think Palace is a great stepping stone for his career. And yeah, I think he'll, with the likes of Eze, Mateta, attacking players like that, I think he'll shine in the Premier League. I think he'll need time. That's one thing I would say. I've been saying to the Palace fans that have got as friends, but I think he's a brilliant signing for them, and for us especially. I think the money that we've got for him is very good for our club going forward. So hopefully we can spend some money on reinforcements.
Mm-hmm. Favorite essay moment, Charlie?
I think there's been quite a few from this season, really. I mean, I think one of these. I think the goal against Plymouth was the one for me. I think we saw we saw his quality in that moment. He just created that whole move, drove the ball forward, quick 1-2, and the sharp finish. I think that's sort of becoming his little signature move now, a little near post finish on the edge of the box. So maybe that's something that unfortunately we'll see him do for Palace. But hopefully we'll see him do it somewhere else in a couple of seasons and get a nice bit of money from his sell-on clause. So yeah.
All right. I know every Millwall fan will join us in wishing him all the very best quality player, and I've really enjoyed watching Millwall with him in the side. I think he absolutely is going to go to the moon. Right, to finish off with this week, then AI has predicted Millwall's away fixtures to see how many points you're going to get. Let's have a look at what the bots said. They actually only predicted you to win one more game away from home this season. That's against Plymouth in a couple of weeks' time. Draws though against Luton, Preston, Derby, and Blackburn to come. So that's a total of 7 points away from home. I'm going to ask you both, but I know what the answer is going to be. Callum, would you take that?
Um, Obviously, I'd like a few more wins in there just to, settle us down into mid-table. But at the moment, with us lacking in goals, and obviously conceding a few as well, you'd probably say that's probably about right. They're all tough games, really. I mean, every game, I've said this before, but every game in the Championship is very hard. So, I mean, these next three games, I think, are very, very important for us. I think we definitely need to at least get two wins out of the three. I would like to see us obviously get a win tomorrow against Cardiff as well. But yeah, more importantly, as long as we get wins against the teams that are bottom half of the league, I'd be happy with because they're the most important ones. But you never know with us. We're always the underdog against the bigger teams. So if we could sneak a point or all three from the top teams, then that would be brilliant.
It might scare you, Charlie, to look at that. You won't have escaped any Millwall fans that notice that the last 5 away games of your run-in are against the top 5 clubs currently as they stand in the league: Leeds, Sunderland, Sheffield United, Blackburn, and Burnley. I do worry for Millwall. Away from home, you can't ask for tougher, can you?
No, I actually hadn't looked at it from the away fixtures of what we had left. So now looking at that, it is very daunting, especially if we continue to run a form we're on. You sort of have to hope for a miracle in the end of the season if we're anywhere near that relegation zone. So, but then again, as I've said before, it would be very Millwall of us to get about 10 points from that. But that's wishful thinking. But yeah, we do always sort of put in better performances against the good teams, but that's normally with a home crowd behind us. I'd say that's when we're at our best. With an away fixture, I think the thing with Millwall, we've never really done too well when we're away from home. So, yeah, I think hopefully we can pick up a few more points than 7 with the games like Portsmouth and Derby and them sort of teams. But it's going to be hard for us.
Yeah, the Den is going to be have to be an absolute fortress, isn't it? Because whilst your away fixtures are tricky, your home fixtures are relatively more straightforward, and that's where the points are going to need to come. Thanks for that. Lastly, we're doing the worst ever Millwall 11 in this month because January is such a rubbish month, so we're asking all of you to contribute towards this. This week, we're looking for the top 2 worst strikers that you have ever seen in a Millwall shirt. Let us know in the comments below if you can help out with this. One name from each of you, if that's okay. Callum, what's the worst? Who's the worst? I'm not sure if I'm going to allow you to say Bradshaw, but you go on.
No, I won't say Bradshaw. No, I've got more than one, but I'm going to go with Kenneth Zohore. For the viewers watching and probably the rest of the Championship watching, there was this one strike when it was during COVID when we was at Preston away at Deepdale, and I think, Charlie, do you remember this when he's hit the ball with his right foot and tried to shot, and it's gone all the way out for a throw-in on the other side of the pitch. And I don't think he scored many goals for us I think he was on loan at the time. So yeah, my pick is going to be Kenneth Zohore because he done absolutely nothing for us during his time.
Good shout, Charlie.
Yeah, I think that was one that came to my mind as well. But I'd say the other one I'd go for, it was a toss-up for me between another loan player, which was Troy Parrott, because he did nothing for us. But I'd say I'd go with a player we had, and that would Stefan Meyerhofer. It was another unit, another like 6 foot plus striker that we had. It was just awful. It was like Bambi on ice. So he's a Millwall cult hero, but that's because he was shocking.
So bad. Okay. Yeah. All right. As we said, let us know if they've missed any, and we'll fill that in next week. Next week, we'll ask about the goalkeeper and the defensive line, so get thinking about that. Thank you very much for watching. Drop us a subscribe if you haven't yet done so. We're trying desperately to hit our target of 250, so that would be amazing if we can reach that by the end of this month. Let us know by pressing the subscribe button if you can do that. Enjoy your games this week. I hate to think what's going to happen if Cardiff score first tomorrow night. Obviously, you'll be watching this before, as we know the result of that. Hopefully, the ground doesn't turn against Alex Neil and they'll get behind him. But we'll review all of that and what's happened in 7 days' time. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Les Wines Walk. and we'll see you in 7 days.